I still don't get it. The why of it, I still don't get it. And when Bill Belichick spoke last night after the Patriots debacle against the Bears, he didn't make it any clearer for me. Bill,
what was a benefit of the pre-planned rotation at quarterback?
I think it was the best thing to do based on the situation.
What was the situation?
The whole situation.
don't you understand? The situation that was the situation. It's situational, folks. Basically, it was a preseason approach at the most important position on national television. Did Bill Belichick not take the Bears seriously and think he could let Mac Jones knock the rust off? Just get him out there, get some reps in, still get the win, and get the hell out of there? Did he not envision that yanking Mac after that kind of a pick and after the team played better without Mac for 3 weeks, that was going to incite the masses? What was the plan if Bill Belichick was going to bring Mac Jones back in? What was the plan had the Patriots been down, say, 23-21 in the fourth quarter? You bring Mac in, throws one pick, and it looks like Cleveland 1995 all over again? An insurrection? Look, Bill Belichick's a genius. He's about to pass George Halas. He's chasing Don Shula. But the whole thing, day by day, and the grab ass about who's going to start and not naming a starter, and he just won't give him a hug. Bill loves the intrigue, and he loves the mystique, and he loves the drama and mythology around him, but he overplayed it. He didn't play it all the way out to the end to see exactly how it would look if things didn't go well, if he pulled the pin on the Mac Jones grenade and went off in his hand, which it did. He didn't play it out to the end before. We've seen these types of things. Bench Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. He didn't think that was going to go that way that day, did he? Sometimes these things backfire. Now he's left with a week of picking up the pieces and getting ready for the Jets. It's not a disaster. It's salvageable. But Bill made his own issues here with an unforced error. Here's the game plan right here. Open forum. We got a ton of comments from you guys because you were outstanding on the 2 polls today. Fields forever. Holy crap. Did anyone think we were going to be talking about that? Those polls, I mentioned them. We got them. And irrelevant questions with Kyle Duggar. But right now, we bring in the great K. Adams. What's up, buddy?
You know, thank you for the applause, control room.
Yep.
I was worried for a while that things were going to be boring up there in New England for you with Mac Jones. And I'd like to say you're probably not sleeping a la the Brady years at this point. Congratulations on working that beat to the ground.
Thank you, my friend. I don't have nearly as many Mac Jones, Bailey Zappe dreams as I did Brady. I did have Brady dreams frequently. Don't get your mind just clicking, but I did. It would be just bizarre Brady dreams of things that I was going to have to deal with. Meanwhile, it's time now for quick fire.
Yes, it certainly is. Thank you so much, Tom Curran. Let's do it. Here is Mac Jones talking about Bill and Bill's communication with him. Really pay attention.
Mac, what was communicated to you why you were pulled after the third drive that you played at quarterback?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, just part of the plan. I think Coach Belichick obviously did a really, really good job explaining it to me. And I knew what the plan was. And, the timing's the timing, but we were on the same page, and there's no hard feelings or anything. I wish I played better while I was in there, but I'll hopefully have a chance to do that in practice and kind of earn that back and then, apply it in the game. But we definitely want to play better as a team, and we're going to do that. We're all going to work together and put our best foot forward.
Okay, I know. This really cuts to the essence of what I think happened. Mac Jones really, really wanted to play. So badly did he want to get back out there that he convinced Bill to put him out there, even with an ankle that Bill wasn't a whole 1,000,000% confident in, which he referred to in the postgame health-wise. He wasn't sure if he was really fully ready to go for 70 plays. So he puts him out there, and Mac appreciates it. There's no hard feelings. He appreciates being given the opportunity, and he's sorry he blew it up. Isn't this wild?
It's wild. Like, what was it one interception? Was it and then Bailey comes in there and scores. And like you're saying now, backfired because of everything that went on in the second half of this game, giving my hometown Chicago Bears out of nowhere a win on Monday Night Football. All right, let's move on to this one. This is Jacoby Myers, because the players, and we're going to hear from Devin McCourty here in a minute too, but Jacoby Myers on Mac being pulled so quickly.
Were you surprised that Jones came out so quickly?
Yeah, but that's NFL for you. You know, it's a fast-changing business, and you got to rock with it right now.
How do you personally and other receivers and skilled players adjust when a change like that is made?
Not even as a football player. I mean, it's tough as a man to see somebody who works so hard kind of get that kind of treatment. But at the end of the day, you know, we all trying to feed our families, so we got to go out there and make plays, whoever don't.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's funny because, Bill Belichick said that he spoke to the team leaders and he talked to the quarterbacks about what his plan was. But clearly he didn't speak to all the players, nor did it filter down. So when you get that reaction to a teammate where they're basically booing your every move and pleading for your backup to get in there, you're going to feel a little defensive. You'd feel defensive for me, wouldn't you, Kay, if the people started booing me here in the studio audience? Of course you would.
1,000,000%. It's just a bit of a mess and something, even the culture that Bill Belichick wanting to give him a chance. I told you this morning. It just seems really uncharacteristic. I don't quite know what to make of it.
Right. And to me, it sets him up, Mac, to be the heavy, to be the scapegoat, to be the player who,
right,
if things go sideways, will need someone to ride to his rescue, which is what I referred to at the beginning. How could they have even fathomed putting Mac Jones back into the game in the second half had the game stayed competitive after the way he was ushered off the stage by a chorus of boos?
Yet somehow Bill Belichick was able to tell Lisa Salters that he was going to rotate quarterbacks the entire second half. We didn't see it. And it probably would be a different story, an easier situation to swallow this morning had Zappe balled out and they had won the game, these New England Patriots who are clawing their way in the AFC. But alas, Zappe times ended against the Bears, 14-22, as you can see here, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, those 2 interceptions, and then that fumble. Let's not forget about that. Quick fire number 3, bailing out. Did Zappe get exposed?
I think so. I don't think that this means that he is incapable of being an NFL quarterback. I think he is fully capable as a rookie in the place that he's in. It shows that he can play from ahead. He can orchestrate an offense. He can throw with accuracy. But really, he's a 4th-round pick from Western Kentucky. He's got an awful lot to learn. And what I think is the confusion at the quarterback position, the so-called controversy, to an extent was cleared up by the end of the night. The conclusion that came after the confusion is that Bailey Zappe's not ready. I'm not sure that Mac Jones is trending in a highly positive direction, but right now, when you compare the two apples to apples, even last night notwithstanding, Mac Jones has physical capabilities that Bailey Zappe doesn't right now. So ride with the second-year veteran.
And he also has a list. He has games, there's plays that you can point to,
exactly,
going back to last year to this year against tougher competition than the Patriots have faced this year, that you have to look at as far as body of work and confidence in rolling out a quarterback. But I'm not going to tell Bill Belichick how to coach, or I'm just kind of along for the ride of what he's doing. Everything's so weird, Tom, in New England, that you need some sort of balancing, centering effect, and that comes in the form of Devin McCourty.
Yes.
Let's take a listen.
We'll just have to see. I know for me, defensively, as we gave up 33 points, so I don't think anybody on defense needs to worry about who the quarterback's going to be at all. Like, we need to worry about what we need to do and figure out how we're going to get stops and play better. I think that needs to be the key for everybody on defense.
Pretty much cutting to the chase, Kay, right there. I mean, they got gashed by Justin Fields, invited him in somewhat the same way they invited Lamar Jackson to throw. How many throws in a row can you make, Justin Fields? Well, I can make 4 or 5 on the roll. I can do it if you give me the middle of the field, and I can also run on you. I guess you can. 33 points later, the Patriots are 3-4. Are you happy as a Bears fan to see signs of life from Jay Fields?
Sure, I think these are the kind of wins that build momentum. We always see 2 or 3 of these plays from Justin Fields that sort of let you hold on hope. But I think they're in worse shape as a team and an organization than the Patriots are. So that's just how I feel.
I love the way that apartment's coming together. House. It's not an apartment. It's a house. It's a house.
I have a TV.
You have a tea set? You have a tea set?
No, I bought a TV now. I finally bought a TV.
I'll buy you a tea set and send it out. It's time now for From the Stands, where we inquire as to people what they would like to send Kay for adornments in her home. I put out a poll today. It's brought to you by Shaw's. They've been perfecting the art of fresh for centuries. What Bill Belichick should have done Monday night is, should have started Mac and left him in. 45% of you said that. Started Zappe, no Mac. 46% of you. And then 9% of you maniacs said, I think it was just fine, to be honest. Let's go from the stands now, Kay. See what we got for comments.
Yeah, Jake says that Bill should have left Mac in. Sets a bad precedent that you could bring in a reliever quarterback the moment the starter throws a pick. For the locker room's sake, I don't know if you can put Zappe back in unless Bill names him the new starter. Massive cluster, you know what, on MNF. Another comment says, I don't understand this controversy. They wouldn't have brought Mac back so quickly if they believed Zappe was the guy. Belichick saw that Mac wasn't right and made the move to protect him. Highly doubt he pulled him because he threw a singular pick.
And he's singing Bill's
Doug
song.
Lee says, I think Mac was pressing to play because Zappe mania was driving him mad. Belichick appeased Mac, but he wasn't ready to play. Very strange. Old Bill would have told Mac to zip it and would have started Zappe for at least one more week. And last one from Van Allen. Either option is fine. Yanking your starter after 6 passes is indefensible. Great comments tonight.
They were. We got about 2,700 votes on those polls. People loved it. And I thought that the comments in general, Kay, were outstanding because this is a multi-sided situation that is easily picked apart on so many places where you can make a defensible argument as to why Bill screwed it up, or why he did the right thing, why Zappe should play, why Mac Jones should play. So to me, there is a lot to mine through, and Bill Belichick is going to have to answer to. He will not really provide them, but answer to this week as it unfolds. Speaking of, well, he won't answer. He'll be asked. Speaking of asking, let's ask Kay right now. Kay, the New York Jets are 5-2, stunningly. How should we regard these New York Jets in the AFC East?
Oh, I think you should regard them as they regard themselves, as a threat in the AFC as far as the playoff picture is concerned. You don't go make a trade ahead of the deadline, a couple weeks ahead of the deadline, if you're not thinking we're going the distance or trying to. Robert Saleh, a top 3 candidate for Coach of the Year, the other coach in New York on the NFC side involved in that mix as well. I would take them very seriously.
All right, that's Kay Adams from Up and Adams on FanDuel. Appreciate you. Fantastic job today. And we will talk to you next week, of course. Well, just of course, we appreciate you. Growth Potential, brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. 1-800-GET-HAIR if you're going bald. Starts for Mac Jones since last year's bye, 9 of them. Record since then, 2-7. Only wins coming against the Steelers who stink and the Jaguars who stunk. Touchdowns, 10. Interceptions, 13. A quarterback rating of 75.8. Completion percentage right around 63%. Passing yards is 1,963. Does that seem like a player that Bill Belichick would have great faith in? Well, he did as of July, the beginning of training camp. Here's what Bill had to say about the progress of his second-year quarterback at the start of training camp.
I think Mac's done a great job. He's worked extremely hard. He's got a tremendous work ethic, and in all areas, I think there's a dramatic improvement. His physical work and conditioning, working on his mechanics, working on his footwork, working on his understanding of our offense, of opponent defenses, of situations, all those things. He did a great job last year, but he's starting from a much, much higher point this year than where he started last year.
What else do you need to know? It's time to go all in on fixing Mac Jones. This Bailey Zappe stuff for the birds. If Mac is who Bill thinks he was 3 months ago, you commit hard. Because so far, Mac's kind of been set up to fail in 2022. Not actively. Just a whole bunch of little decisions which have contributed to a regression. Monday nights being the latest one. There was one good thing that came out of Monday night, though. The quarterback controversy got dealt a death blow. There shouldn't be any quarterback confusion. It got cleared up. Now, if you're Mac's camp, and all these players have camps right now, you're up in arms. Your guy got castrated. He got made to look the fool. Even if Mac put a happy spin on things and was appreciative of being out there on Monday Night Football. Again, thank God this game Sunday is in New York. Mac Jones should get the start. He should go the distance. For the rest of the season, he should be your starting quarterback and not have to look over his shoulder one time. Figure out what you have, because in July, Bill, and New England Patriots, and so many of you New England Patriots fans, myself included, we all thought Mac Jones was trending to being a capable, perhaps perennial, Pro Bowl level player. Now, he got booed off the field in the 6th game after 2 weeks off because of a fractured ankle, practically. This I'm not saying he's mighty, but the mighty have fallen a little bit. And we're going to go back to the stands right now. I put out another poll because you people were so active on the Twitter trying to get in touch with me about how you felt about things. The Patriots quarterback plan going forward, overwhelmingly in Mac's favor. 66% of you felt that was the way to go. 15% of you said, I just need a little more Zappe time, to be candid. Battle it out in practice was 17 impractical percent of you. And I kind of like a platoon. 2% of you people like that. Come on, you guys, people, what are you thinking about? Don't worry, be Zappe. Even he says Mac, when 100% healthy, is the real option. He looked very careful with his feet yesterday, and that's a recipe for disaster. Get him right first, and he's the guy. But buddy, you have to let Mac play it out to prove as he is the guy. If you can't do that, move on. But I think he should be given the rest of the season to do so. But Body is singing my tune. Matt Cherrier. Mac with play calling that suits his strength if he hasn't already lost all confidence. Matt, again, a good point. Again, that's why I did this. You guys were terrific in the comments. Cass, they need to stick with Mac once he's fully healthy. I think you tried to play a little too soon. I'm disgusted. Cass is disgusted with you people. You 68,000 down there at Gillette. And James Downing wants to know the same thing I do. Who the heck liked the platoon system? I'm telling you, I am out of breath. And you guys were fantastic with the comments. Kay was fantastic. Now let's get into a little bit of the game with some risers and some fallers. And we like to go with plural on the risers and fallers, but we only have one this week. It's this guy. It's Matt Judon. Speaking of perennial Pro Bowlers, speaking of a guy who might be threatening for an all-pro berth, it's Matt Judon. 2.5 more sacks and about the only shining star against the Chicago Bears on Monday night. He's having a terrific season. Did the same thing last year. Hopefully, he can continue it along. Meanwhile, let's get right into the fallers. And we're going to lead it off with the tackle. Isaiah Wynn, inactive. Trent Brown, he practically fouled out. Okay, he had 4 penalties last night, including a trip, including a couple false starts, including a hold. Not what you're looking for, especially when the team is trying to gain traction with Mac Jones in his first week back. Why is the tackle position so penalty-plagued in 2022? Next faller, my guy Jake Bailey. Jake Bailey, a 31-yard net last night. Now, a net punt is how far it traveled, and then you subtract the returns off it. 31 yards, that's not going to get it done. This is a guy who was an all-pro punter in 2020. Well, Gunnar Olszewski was an all-pro returner, too, but I'm telling you, I don't know where Jake Bailey's foot has gone, but hopefully he removes it from wherever it is soon and gets after it. Time now for Irrelevant Questions. The great Kyle Duggar, who has been a consistent riser. He joined us this week, suffered an ankle injury on Monday night. Big factor going forward against the Jets. Here he was catching up with me on some, just, a little bit of, having some fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you watch the show and you know that every single week when I do my risers and fallers, I have one riser. And every single week, it's the man, Kyle Duggar. You must know this, right? That you're a riser on my riser week every week?
I don't know this, but it's good to know.
It's got to be a relief. It's probably a bonus in your contract somewhere for that type of thing. You're an accomplished football player, obviously, at this point, and you were in high school, too. You were an accomplished basketball player. Which one would you have preferred to go professional in had you had your choice?
Football. I say football.
You got to say football now?
I mean, I ain't really got much of a choice. I say football.
Which one were you more dominant in?
Definitely football. Without a doubt, football. I was average, a little bit above average in basketball, so yeah.
Basketball, you get the ball out of the wing, one-on-one, kind of cleared out for you a little bit. What's your go-to move going to be to break him down?
It's going to be an in-and-out cross and either a step back to a hezzy or just a step back to a jump shot.
Are you a New Englander by proxy by now?
I definitely know what the climate's all about. The people, I'm still getting there. I got a pretty good feel, but I don't think I'm all the way there. I need to start getting out more to maybe downtown to Boston. But climate, definitely let me know what it's talking about.
See, now I've lived here all my life, but I forever will notice that there is, when I go to the gym, there is no more miserable person on the planet than the person in a Boston gym. They look like they're pissed off. You walk past them, they're pissed off. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying hi. I'm not trying to say they're unfriendly, but just people are very to themselves. And if you do say hi to somebody else, they're like...
Surprise. Yeah.
Is that one of the things that you've noticed?
Yes, definitely that. And I say the driving. Not a lot of turn signals. Not a lot of stopping at yield signs. I don't really know if they understand what all the driving laws are. So I say the driving pretty quirky up here. I ain't gonna lie.
highly competitive driving. What was your first car?
Chrysler 2015 Chrysler 200. Still got it.
You still got it? You still drive it on the daily?
Yes, sir.
You, believe it or not, are 2 months older than my oldest son. And I spent a lot of time watching Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, Dexter's Lab, the whole nine. If you had to take a long car trip with Dexter, SpongeBob, or Hey Arnold, who would it be?
Just one?
Just one of them.
I'm going to have to go with SpongeBob. Yeah, SpongeBob. They still making new episodes, I'm pretty sure. So it'd be SpongeBob. Hey Arnold, I'd have been through that already. So.
Plus, I don't know if his head would fit against your seats. Honest to God, could you listen to that for like 3 hours straight, SpongeBob? I couldn't do it. SpongeBob will be a handful on any kind of a car trip. Appreciate you, Kyle Duggar. Coming up right after, we have early edition, and of course, as the rest of the week goes on, we will have the game plan on Wednesday, leading into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast. We got a lot to plow through. Stick with us. Appreciate you being with us. Thank you, as always, for your participation. Bye.